When we think of terrifying prehistoric sea monsters, one name always comes to mind: Megalodon, the 60-foot-long apex predator that ruled the oceans millions of years ago. But what if we told you that Megalodon was not the scariest creature to ever haunt the deep? Today, we dive into the ancient seas to meet the monsters that made even Megalodon seem tame. Leviathan Melville, the whale that hunted other whales. In the warm oceans of the Miocene epoch, a true sea beast roamed the depths. Named after the biblical Leviathan and the famous author Herman Melville, Leviathan Melville was a macropredatory whale. Much like today's killer whales, but much, much bigger. It could reach lengths of up to 60 feet and had the largest functional teeth of any known animal, some measuring over 14 inches long. What made Leviathan particularly terrifying was its hunting behavior. Unlike modern baleen whales that feed on plankton, Leviathan actively hunted large marine mammals. Including other whales, it used echolocation to navigate and track prey. And with a powerful bite, it could tear through blubber, bone and muscle with ease. The oceans where Leviathan thrived were also home to Megalodon, meaning these two super predators likely battled for dominance. Intelligent, social, and equipped with brutal weaponry, Leviathan was not just a monster, it was a highly evolved killer with the mind of a mammal and the jaws of death. Plesiosaurus funke, nicknamed Predator X, ruled the Jurassic seas 150 million years ago. This pliosaur was an apex predator, stretching nearly 40 feet long and weighing up to 45 tons. Its skull alone was over 6 feet in length and housed a bite estimated at 33,000 pounds per square inch, stronger than any land animal ever. Predator X didn't just bite, it crushed. Its conical teeth could grip and pulverize the bones of prey. With 4 massive paddle-like flippers, it moved with swift, snake-like motions through the water, capable of ambushing prey with lightning speed. Unlike Megalodon, which relied on brute size, Predator X was a combination of raw power and precision. It was a sea monster with no equal in its time. Mosasaurus hoffmanni, the T-Rex of the sea. Think of a Komodo dragon supercharged with a crocodile's jaws and a shark's tail, and you'll start to imagine the terror that was Mosasaurus hoffmanni. At over 50 feet long, this late Cretaceous marine lizard dominated its ecosystem. It had a jaw that could dislocate like a snake's, allowing it to swallow prey much larger than its mouth would suggest. Mosasaurus had paddle-like limbs and a muscular tail that let it swim swiftly through the oceans. It could ambush prey from below and behind, grabbing fish, turtles, and even other mosasaurs. Its double-hinged jaw and backward-curving teeth ensured nothing escaped once bitten. Its combination of speed, intelligence, and brutality made it the nightmare of Cretaceous seas. Thalatorchin saurophages, the lizard-eating ruler of the sea. Long before Megalodon, during the Triassic period, Thalatorchin saurophages, whose name literally means lizard-eating ruler of the sea, was king. This ichthyosaur stretched about 28 feet long and had large, sharp cutting teeth ideal for slicing flesh. Unlike the more conical teeth of earlier marine reptiles, what made Thalatorchin truly terrifying was its diet. It preyed on other large marine reptiles. It didn't feed on fish or squid. It hunted its own kind. Its streamlined body and powerful tail allowed it to maneuver quickly through water, striking with deadly precision. Thalatorchin was one of the first marine predators to dominate its ecosystem, setting the evolutionary blueprint for future killers. At 70 feet long, Shanosaurus sichiniensis was one of the largest marine reptiles ever discovered. While primarily thought to be a filter feeder or gentle predator, its sheer size made it a force of nature. Living during the late Triassic, it swam in deep, open waters, likely traveling in pods like modern whales. Although it may not have been a vicious hunter, its massive mouth and presence alone would have created panic in smaller marine creatures. If it ever chose to, either in defense or desperation, it had the size and strength to crush or ram smaller predators. Shanosaurus wasn't aggressive, but it didn't need to be terrifying. It is far bigger and vibrant than the modern shark. The Dunkleosteus terrelli travel back 358 million years to the Devonian period, and you'll meet Dunkleosteus terrelli, an armored fish that looked like a tank and killed like a guillotine. This 33-foot-long placoderm didn't have teeth. It had bony plates that snapped shut with enough force to slice through steel. Dunkleosteus could open and close its jaws in a fraction of a second, creating a vacuum that sucked prey into its crushing bite. It fed on armored fish and possibly even other Dunkleosteus. With thick armor plating and a brutally efficient bite, this predator made early oceans a very dangerous place. If nightmare fuel had a mascot, it would be Helicoprion. This bizarre shark-like creature had a spiral of teeth called a tooth whorl that looked like a buzzsaw inside its lower jaw. This 25-foot predator lived 290 million years ago and puzzled scientists for decades. The function of the tooth whorl is still debated, but the leading theory is that it sliced soft-bodied prey, like squid in a rotary motion as the jaw closed. Its upper jaw likely pressed prey into the saw for a devastating cut. Helicoprion didn't need size to terrify, it had innovation. Despite being a filter feeder, Leedsichthys earned its spot simply by size. At over 50 feet long, this Jurassic fish dwarfed most predators. While not a hunter, it swam in massive schools that could displace entire ecosystems. Imagine a shadow overhead 60 feet long. Gliding silently by, predators would have to work in teams just to try and isolate one. Even Megalodon, millions of years later, would look twice before attacking such a behemoth. Closely related to Mosasaurus, Tylosaurus proriger was smaller but more agile and possibly smarter. At 45 feet long, it had a streamlined body and specialized snout used to ram prey. It lived in the shallow inland seas of North America and preyed on fish, birds, and even other reptiles. Tylosaurus was one of the fastest marine reptiles of its time. Its powerful tail and hydrodynamic shape made it a stealthy and efficient killer. It even had remnants of a second row of teeth on its palate, an adaptation similar to modern snakes. Long, eel-like, and terrifying, Basilosaurus isis was a primitive whale from the Eocene epoch. It reached lengths of up to 60 feet and had a flexible, snake-like body perfect for undulating through warm, shallow seas unlike modern whales. Basilosaurus had teeth for tearing flesh and a skull adapted for strong bites. It hunted large fish and marine mammals. Using ambush tactics, some fossil evidence even shows it had rudimentary hind limbs, leftovers from when its ancestors walked on land. It was a reminder that evolution can produce forms far scarier than we ever imagined. So was Megalodon the ultimate sea monster? Not necessarily, while it was massive and deadly. The oceans have always been home to even stranger, deadlier and more fascinating predators. From saw-jawed sharks to whale-eating whales, Earth's history is filled with marine nightmares that rival any modern horror story. In the ancient seas, Megalodon was just one terrifying player in a world of monsters. Share your thoughts with me in the comments.